Hi everybody, here I am with the last card of the day. We're going to do our technique card now, and we're going to do a simple diorama card. This is just kind of a simplified version, and I also gave you on the handout an alternate version, which is a little more work, but still really cool to make that diorama really pop out. And so, I mean, the basic thing is you're cutting these shapes, and you can do windows of circles or squares or rectangles too. This is just kind of a fun die set that cuts the shapes in all different kind of funny curvy things, which looks really cool. And the basic thing is you want to pop them apart. So we're going to just do that with lots and lots of Stampin' dimensionals. So I have dimensionals between all of my pieces here. So we're going to always start out with our stamping, since we have two sides of the cardstock. So let's get started on some stamping. We're going to have two panels that are layered behind the card itself. The card itself is Pool Party. So let's start with stamping some of the little fishies on our card. So I'm going to use Pool Party ink. If you don't have any little fish stamps, you can just leave it plain and it will look just fine. Okay, so let me put it this way so I'm not getting on the inside here. I just stamped them here and there a few places, and I also stamped a few on the innermost panel, which is their Bermuda Bay. So stamp a few fish there, cute little fishies. All right, so any more stamping we need to do? Yes, on the inside. I won't do this now, but on the inside I did just a sentiment, and I just of course wanted to play with some more of the stamps, so I added those, but they're not necessary either. Just find a fun sentiment. Just thought you should know how wonderful you are. I didn't even put a sentiment on the front because there's so much going on there. I didn't think we needed anything else. All right, I suppose I should look at my directions to make sure I'm doing this right. Let's see. Oh, the metallic mesh I have in here, I actually made two projects with this. It's another twofer for you, so you're going to probably want to cut a little bit of that mesh off. Where are my scissors? And I'm not measuring it here, but you can measure it if you want. And just, I'm going to try it. I tucked some in afterwards just because I didn't think of it till afterwards. But I'm going to try putting some on right at the beginning. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier to do that. And we'll see which way worked out the best. All right, directions. Assemble the card with Stampin' dimensionals in every corner. And I put a little picture there just to show you how I did that. So these are all going to go on the inside of the card, but you want to make sure you don't get it too close to the fold. So I actually cut these panels a little bit smaller. They're just tiny, a little bit tinier than, and I don't have any Stampin' dimensionals right here, and those are the star of the show. So let me grab my dimensionals, and I put some in each corner. You don't want them to show, of course, so it's best just to throw them in the corners. You can also just kind of tuck it under and make sure they're not going to show if you wanted to add some more dimensionals. So that looks good. So we're ready for that one. And then this piece is just going to be in the center, the Coastal Cabana piece. So let me just add some dimensionals to the corners there as well. Now the traditional diorama card has some folding involved, so you have a lot more dimension, and that way it all folds up, and then you can add more layers. But this is just kind of a simplified way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna put that kind of centered. I don't want it close to the fold, so I'm just going to center it. You can see I made it just like a 1/16 inch or so. It's all in the measurements on the handout there. that looks like it's centered good, and then I'll just fold it over. Okay, and now I need to do the exact same to the Bermuda Bay piece. And make sure it's not too close to my fold. Okay, that looks good. There, so easy, it's already together. So there's our diorama, and you can see we've got some nice dimension going on there. My mesh is sticking out a little bit, so I can just trim that with my scissors, which I could have done before I put it all together, but okay, I guess that worked out pretty good putting that on first, or you can just tuck it in afterwards if you forget. Okay, now I gave you a whole bunch of pieces here to decorate. I didn't want to waste the cutouts from the diorama die. The diorama die is in the new annual catalog, as is the Seascape bundle with the fish and the seahorse. These are the two stars of the show. And the reason why they are still attached to the cardstock is because you can make cards, excuse me, you can make cards just like this and just kind of have them popping up a little bit out of the card, or like we're doing here, if you want to actually add the pieces to a card, you can just snip off the extras. So you can just see they're attached in a couple of spots here, so just snip off those little bits there. 2 of them on that side, and then 2 on this side. Little tab there to snip off, so his fin sticks out. There we go. And if there's any extra little bits inside, you can use your die brush or scissors or paper piercer. Take your pick tool and poke out some of those extra little bits. I didn't take the time to do all that because it's so much work doing all the die cutting for everybody. I have a few little bits here in the tail that need to be poked out, but you can see how to do that. But anyhow, so now you're just going to decorate it however you please. So I did the seahorse there. I did the coral. I kind of tucked in under the card on top of the Coastal Cabana layer, and you could just put a little bit of liquid glue there and tuck that in. And then the same thing with the 2 little So Saffron fish there. I put one of them on the inside Bermuda Bay layer, and then I stuck one of the other ones, kind of tucked them inside the coral like that. Okay, so that's how I decorated mine. You can do yours, of course, however you please. And with your extra 2 die cut pieces, you can just put those together and use the fish. Let me show my sample here. This is what I did with my fish. I put that extra piece of mesh under the fish and then just layered these together with Stampin' Dimensionals. Added the fish. Now he can be put on another whole card. Just grab a piece of Whisper White card or cardstock or basic white or Pool Party if you have it, and just layer him on, or any color you like that would go well with these colors, and make a second card, a twofer, or you could make this into a tag. This would be a cute little tag. Punch a little hole, add some ribbon, put a little to from on the back, and you could use it as a tag for a gift. So there's a twofer project for you using the diorama dies, which are in the annual catalog and the Seascape bundle. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and I'll be posting it on in our group and on YouTube as well for anybody that stumbles across it. My website is craftdoc.com, so you can contact me through there, and I can make sure you get connected with all the products that you want from Stampin' Up! And more fun projects like this diorama card. Happy crafting, everyone!